You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
We have new details on the death of a 2-year-old Pinellas County boy. We'll tell you why his foster family says his life could have been different.
Plus, Charlotte County Police need your help finding a person of interest they call the bingo hall burglar.
And if you're tired of working out in the same old mundane gym, how about going to the beach? We'll tell you about new equipment you can use on the sand. Those stories plus your forecast right now on Good Morning Suncoast. And good morning, folks. Up to Thursday now, September the 6th. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us. We've got a full hour of news straight ahead. But first, over to John Skulls, the free forecast.
Pretty quiet this morning, actually, a lot like yesterday. We're still watching those winds drive showers from the Atlantic onto the coastline, the other coastline. And later in the afternoon, they'll move across the peninsula into our neck of the woods. But this morning looks pretty dry and quiet. A lot of sunshine, I think, heading our way as we head through the morning hours into the afternoon. And then clouds will build a little bit later on. Temperatures across the region about where they were yesterday. Becky, our weather watcher in Old Myakka, reports in with 70 degrees. Jeff, our newest weather watcher in Laurel Park, reports 77 degrees. And Cooper, our youngest weather watcher in central Sarasota, has 77 degrees. That's pretty typical for the area all around the coastline. Temperatures across the region probably around the low 90s again today. We hit 92 yesterday. We'll probably be there again this afternoon. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. Here's the scene as we speak in Manatee County. Little build up there on State Road 70 as you approach 301 in the westbound lanes. Also east of the interstate on 70 as you approach Lakewood Ranch Boulevard. Checking farther south now, here is the scene in the northern half of Sarasota County. University Parkway, some build up westbound, particularly as you cross by Whitfield there and University Club. Fruitville westbound at Beneva, and then checking our final map to the south. That'll show some buildup first off in Osprey on 41 northbound and also down by the Plantation Country Club on 41 southbound.
Well, new details this morning in the tragic ending to that Amber Alert in Pinellas County, where 2-year-old Jordan Bellevue was found dead. Now, at just 5 months old, Jordan was placed with a foster family who say they wanted to adopt him. He even learned how to roll over and crawl while in their care. However, they feel the system failed Jordan, returning him to his mother, who has now confessed to killing him and hiding his body in the woods. Our Marla Spence has even more details in this case, and she's going to be joining us in the studio later on in the show.
This morning, the search is on for a bank robber who police say stole from banks in Venice, Punta Gorda, and Cape Coral. Now, here is a surveillance picture of the man. You can just about see, there you go, a closer shot. In the most recent robbery, he was wearing a cowboy hat there on the right. In all 4 incidents, the man showed a gun to the teller. The gun was still in a holster. He demanded cash and then ran off.
And Charlotte County Sheriff's deputies are also asking the public for help. They want help identifying the person that they're calling the bingo hall burglar. Deputies there say that the person entered the bingo trail early on Tuesday morning and stole cash. Now, here's a photo right there. If you have any information at all in this case, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers at the number that is coming on your screen.
You may soon start seeing anti-drug ads on TV and social media. Drug-Free Manatee is starting a new campaign to bring attention to National Recovery Month in October. It features the journeys of 4 people going through addiction and recovery. The ads will start next month and will air throughout the new year.
The CDC quarantined a plane at JFK Airport that had just flown in from Dubai after dozens of passengers on board reported feeling sick. Now, this Air Emirates flight had 521 passengers on board when it landed. Sick passengers were taken to the hospital. Others were kept on the tarmac for hours. But at this point, they still believe it was simply just a bad flu outbreak. Now, if that situation wasn't strange enough, one of the passengers on board was none other the 90s rapper Vanilla Ice, a.k.a. Rob Van Winkle, or the other way around, who describes the scene.
It felt like that scene from E.T. when they're quarantined, you know, like all these people come in like hazmat and stuff.
Now, Van Winkle avoided that flu. He says he was actually on the top deck of the plane, and most of the people who got sick were on a lower level.
How did you afford tickets on a plane?
Right?
Surf's up, and so too is equal pay for female surfers. The World Surf League announced a new policy this week. Reporter Angelica Leilani has the story.
Cheers of solidarity after Sophie Goldschmidt, CEO of the World Surf League, announced equal pay among pro men and women surfers.
We've got some amazing women, iconic role models around the world, who are breaking barriers from an athletic performance perspective, and rightly so, they deserve to get equal prize money.
A momentous moment that legendary pro surfer Kelly Slater says has been a long time coming, recalling back to his childhood.
I was more or less raised by a single mom, raising 3 boys. And to see her struggles, I can relate to the situation of women not getting equal pay and the hardships that come with being a female in the world.
Equal pay has been the hot topic in recent years. For surfers, serious dough is on the line. Right now, there's about a $300,000 difference for men and women's prize money. But with this historic movement, pro surfers at the ranch say it's the first big wave into the future for female athletes.
Obviously, it's a part of the women's movement that I think is really present here in America especially, but having this go internationally is even beyond what I could have imagined.
I'm really so proud that the WSL continues to be a leader in progression like this.
And now the best of world-class surfers will be hanging 10 in the middle of farmland. 18 women and 36 men will be competing in Lemoore at the Surf Ranch Pro, the 8th out of 11 stops on the WSL World Championship Tour.
I think this week's going to be about who can deal with the pressure the most and kind of embrace that pressure and put that into their performance.
As we go from the surf to the beach, see how I did that?
Yes, well done, Ray.
Longboat Key is bringing in 30,000 tons of sand to renourish the northern end of the key.
ABC 7's Jackie Kelly talked with Longboat Key's Public Works Department to find out just how this $1 million project will help.
Longboat Key's north end is no stranger to beach erosion.
That particular part of the island is highly erosional. There's what's called a reversal zone where the currents split in 2 directions, so it's just an area that experiences a lot of erosion.
Director of Public Works Isaac Brownman says last time this piece of beach was renourished was in 2016. He says while things like hurricanes can impact erosion, it's not the main cause.
The town is in the process of permitting through the state additional structures to add in those areas to help lock the sand in a little more.
Brittany Havner, who is an office manager at Century 21 just down the road from the renourishment site, says she believes bringing in more sand is a good idea, especially with red tide plaguing the shores.
All these animals need places to nest, and adding more sand is only going to help their cause, especially again with everything that's happened.
Along with that, she says it will be beneficial to the real estate business.
Everybody wants that beautiful white sand beachfront property.
But Brauman says a nice beach view isn't the only perk of this project.
It is very important to the residents both for the aesthetic component, but also the sand provides a barrier and from storms and other things. So it does provide some protection from shoreline activity.
Now, this is just a quick fix before an island-wide renourishment begins in 2021 or in 2022.
Now, they say for the next month, beachgoers should use the Broadway public access point in that case. And speaking of beaches, you want to move your workout to the beach? Well, now you can. New fitness stations are now up at Coquina Beach, paid for with money earned from beach concession stands. Now, they're all located close to the water and the sand to encourage more workouts with a much better view.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
JFK's nephew and one of the former stars of ABC's All My Children has passed away. We're going to look back at the life of Christopher Lawford. Still ahead, but first.
It is 6:08 on your Thursday morning. As far as the planner for the day, let's get details now from meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, looks like once again this afternoon the sky will fill with clouds and we'll see showers and thunderstorms around, about a 60% chance of that. But for the morning hours anyway, should be pretty quiet. We'll have your complete forecast in a second.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
You like to pay less. That's why you made Honda Accord the best-selling midsize car in America. Get the redesigned Accord, the North American Car of the Year, or Civic, a KDP.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Like SUVs and trucks? Get Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, CRV, the 8-passenger Pilot or Ridgeline truck for up to $4,240 less today at your local Honda dealer.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When there's the potential for severe weather, you need to know fast. Trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather to get you the information you need right away. We focus on the storms that impact where you live, and we're committed to alerting you with important information as soon as we get it. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. We're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, bro. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Like ABC 7 on Facebook to stay connected to the team you trust. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76 degrees, the air temperature. Dew point value exactly the same. That gives us 100% relative humidity. We're looking at east-northeast wind continuing to blow relatively lightly, coming in at about 7, but it is influencing weather across the state of Florida even at this hour. Don't have much of a chance of rainfall during the morning. Mix of sun and some fair weather clouds as we head into the early afternoon with a slight chance of a shower, building in inland areas first and then developing more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity as we head into late afternoon. A pattern called the east wind pattern that we are so familiar with here on the Suncoast. We'll continue to watch these showers kind of picked up from the Atlantic, kind of enhanced actually in their coverage over in the Atlantic by a little upper level low, but moving across the peninsula, eventually riding on that easterly windfall and flow, and then as it hits our sea breeze, kind of exploding. But right now, morning commute, A-OK, no issues there. So the highlights today include this big ridge of high pressure. That ridge of high pressure is kind of fixed in place, and that's going to bring us that easterly wind flow for probably 2 more days. Then that little upper level low that's producing all of these showers will move across the state and allow this high pressure ridge to sink south in its place, and that will start to turn our winds to a more southwesterly direction, which will completely change up the pattern of flow in the air across the peninsula. That will allow a couple of things. One, it will take the showers which ride on that easterly wind flow today across the state and kind of explode with our sea breeze front to turn in the opposite direction, so that over the course of especially Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you'll start to see the showers build first along our coastline during the late morning, early afternoon, and then drift to the other coast. We saw so much of that this summer earlier on, and then our winds kind of switched to the east, which was a good thing, helped to blow those red tide toxins back out into open waters. But the winds will reverse again this weekend, and perhaps that might slightly exacerbate the red tide issue along the coastline, though the concentrations of red tide in the water seem to be improving. Good chance for afternoon storms. We'll watch where Florence will track with great interest that could become of concern to the United States a little bit later on down the road. And this southwest wind will return this weekend. So 2 systems that we continue to monitor, actually even more than 2 systems. There are some that are still on the continent of Africa, haven't even moved off into the waters off the coast of Africa yet, but that will occur a little bit later on this week too. Florence is probably one of the most interesting storms on the maps right now. The other tropical wave has a chance of 90% for development over 5 days, and certainly will be one we'll want to watch 7 to 10 days down the road. But Florence could be of larger impact to the United States. Right now it has decreased in intensity a little bit because of a southwesterly wind shear, 115-mile-an-hour wind, still a major hurricane. Moves to the west and kind of decreases a little bit in intensity before turning to the northwest, just to the south of Bermuda. And then computer models are in disagreement about what happens thereafter, but certainly it's not clear, concise clustering of one solution, and that's why it gives us some concern. One computer model takes the storm system, of course, very close to the United States. I'm sure you've heard about that, but there's still a wide spread in the model forecasts, and so we'll just have to continue to watch it next week, particularly if you have interest in the mid-Atlantic or Northeast. 10-knot wind today, and the forecast for the week ahead features, well, pretty much the same old for the next couple of days. A 60% chance of showers with a daytime high of around 92 or so. And then on Saturday, we start to reverse the winds around, lower our rain chances a little bit as we get a morning shower near the coast, late morning, early afternoon shower near the coast. And then all of that travels inland later in the afternoon, leaving the coastline a little bit drier. We'll watch the chance of rain showers stay in the 40 to 30% range as we head into next week. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check your morning traffic. We are still seeing some delays. You can see right there in the middle of your screen, State Road 70 and 301. Plenty of delays in that intersection. A little slow this morning. And heading a little bit farther south into Sarasota County, the top half, those roads are looking pretty decent out there so far. And if you're coming off of 75 and you're going on to Bee Ridge Road, there's a couple delays as you're coming off the highway right there. But other than that, not too much going on in that part. If you're headed a little bit farther south, both 75 and 41 are running pretty decent. A couple delays right there by Venice Gardens, but not too much to be worried about this morning. It is 6:16, and that is your first alert traffic. Well, in entertainment news, Meghan Markle scores her own prince and gets Best Dressed of 2018.
Sounds like a good year.
Yeah.
And the latest in the sexual assault charges against 2 big-name actors. ABC's Linda Lopez has the latest from Hollywood.
Jeff Goldblum delighted fans, showing off his piano skills at a London train station ahead of the release of his debut album, The Capitol Studio Sessions. The 14-track album was recorded by Goldblum with his longtime band, the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra. The actor has been playing piano since he was a child. Meghan Markle has been named People magazine's Best Dressed Star of 2018. The American actress turned British princess topped the list ahead of some other fashion icons, including Kim Kardashian West, Cate Blanchett, Lupita Nyong'o, and Amal Clooney. The former Suits star has had a huge influence on the fashion industry and is praised for her Markle sparkle. Meanwhile, Miss Markle's father-in-law, Prince Charles, has been busy rubbing shoulders with some showbiz royalty. The Prince of Wales met with celebrities, including Benedict Cumberbatch and Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber, at the charity event hosted by Charles's Children and the Arts. The independent charity works to provide access to all forms of art for young people in the UK. Prosecutors in Los Angeles say they won't file sexual assault charges against actors Kevin Spacey or Steven Seagal, citing the statute of limitations. The separate cases involve incidents in the early 1990s. The LA County DA's office made no comments on the merits of those accusations. Representatives for both Spacey and Seagal did not respond to requests for comment. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Linda Lopez, ABC News, New York.
Well, John F. Kennedy's nephew and longtime actor Christopher Lawford has passed away. He died from a heart attack while in a yoga class in Vancouver on Tuesday. Lawford's mother, of course, was Patricia Kennedy Lawford, the sister of JFK. He was probably best known in the world of soaps. He had a long recurring role on ABC's All My Children for a number of years, as well as at General Hospital. Over the years, he was also very open about his addictions. They actually started when he began drinking at the age of just 12 years old. Boy. We did a lot of motivational speaking and stuff over the years, too.
Did he?
Yeah, very open about all that.
Yoga class, of all places.
Yeah.
So relaxed.
Turned his life around and really started to get healthy over the last couple of years.
6:19, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop website is in big trouble today over some health claims that they've made, and now they're facing a huge fine. We'll tell you why.
Why is it called Goop?
Long story, Ray, long story.
All right, I'll stick around. 6:19 right now. Here's a peek outside. Nice shot of the downtown skyline. Should see a high again of 92 degrees, but guess what else we might see this afternoon?
Rain and thunder.
Correct. John Scalzi's forecast and more news coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
How do you open tough jar lids? Do you try this one? Or this one? Or how about this one?
Honey?
This is the future. Shouldn't there be a robot for this by now? There is. Introducing RoboTwist, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids. Just set it down, press the button, and watch it work. First, the RoboStrong vise locks down tight. Then the powerful twisting action unscrews the lid. RoboTwist is yours for the special introductory price of just $19.99. That's right, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids, all for just $19.99. Whether the jar is big or small, RoboTwist can open them all. Supplies are limited, so don't delay. Here's how to get yours today.
Call 1-800-347-1073. That's 1-800-347-1073, or order online at buyrobotwist.com.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Welcome back. Like a scene from a scary movie. That's how it looks right now as we speak in New York City.
As a fan of said scary movies, I'm trying to figure out which one this opening scene would be a part of. Well, it's kind of a spooky scene this morning.
Central Park there in the foreground.
Ghostbusters, maybe, as our director Jim just whispered in my ear, yes.
79 degrees there. They'll see a high of 90. Heat wave continues in the Big Apple.
And out west as well. New this morning, another major fire, this one burning in Northern California. Authorities say the Delta fire has already grown to 5,000 acres very quickly. They're even calling it an extreme fire. Early this morning, crews built fire lines, but conditions wouldn't allow an air attack. Evacuations remain in effect today, and parts of the interstates in those areas are all shut down because of safety concerns.
All right, science lovers, look at this one. A new feature on Saturn. NASA's Cassini spacecraft detected a high-altitude vortex on the planet's north pole shaped like a hexagon.
Ray, what the heck is a vortex?
What's science?
Okay.
They discovered a vortex on Saturn's south pole back in 2004. These polar hexagons are part of Saturn's weather system, and experts say they're a lot like our jet stream back here on Earth.
Ah, learning something every day. And
you
you're
go.
going to learn something too.
Okay.
You asked me what Goop stood for. Gwyneth Paltrow's site. The G and the P are her initials, and the OO.
Oh,
Goop.
gotcha.
So it's like kind of lifestyle company and a website. But they are in some big trouble today over some health claims that they've made on that website.
ABC's Diane Macedo has this story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, Gwyneth Paltrow's lifestyle brand Goop is paying the price for allegedly promoting unscientific claims about 3 of its products. The company is settling a $145,000 consumer protection lawsuit over those products, including the highly controversial Jade Egg, which Goop once claimed could help with hormonal imbalance and uterine prolapse. Paltrow even touted the egg's supposed benefits on Jimmy Kimmel last year.
You sell a lot of these?
We sell tons of them, and women actually have had incredible results. It acts as like a small weight, and so I suppose it tones the pelvic floor. And there are women who are really good at practicing this, and they say that it's good for balancing hormones.
And we'll have more about the lawsuit coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
Joy. Ideal.
At Macy's.
Harry's meeting clients from far away, but they only see his wrinkles. If only Harry used some bounce to dry, he would be a less wrinkly winning guy.
Excedrin sees your relentless pounding headache, even if no one else can. It's why we focus only on headaches. Nothing works faster. We see your pain and what's possible without it. Excedrin Extra Strength.
My California closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California closet story.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos. To use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
40 Carats Family Center and the Community Foundation of Sarasota County present a free speaker event, Unselfie, Why Empathetic Kids Succeed in Our All About Me World, featuring parenting educator and author Michelle Borba at Riverview High School on Tuesday, September 25th at 7 p.m. Help children become successful, moral, courageous, and resilient. RSVP required at 40carats.org. That's FORTY carats.org.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
This morning, new details in the case of the death of the 2-year-old in Pinellas County. Why his foster family says his life could have been different.
A house fire in Charlotte County, a warning for parents this morning involving the cause of that fire.
And just why are so many bottlenose dolphins in Sarasota Bay showing high levels of chemicals in their systems? We'll tell you what researchers have found. We have those stories plus your forecast. Good Morning Suncoast continues right now. And good morning to you. It is 6:29 on this Thursday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi has recorded his weather update and left. He said rain and hot this afternoon. He's actually here. Hey, John.
Back up the tape and play it again. Yep, it's going to be a very similar day to yesterday. We have this easterly wind flow again producing a few scattered showers on the other coast, driving them into our area later in the afternoon, where they'll meet up with our sea breeze and develop into thunderstorms. Rain chance today at about 60%. A lot of sunshine around today. The difference between today and yesterday, I guess we don't have those consistent high thin clouds from Gordon. That's gone. We'll have more of a sunnier, deeper blue sky, I think, as we start off the morning. We'll have 76 degrees in inland areas and temperatures along the coastline a little bit warmer, coming in close to the 80 mark in some locations. Top it out today at around 92, about where we were yesterday. We hit 93 yesterday with a 60% rain chance by 3 p.m. Back to you.
All right, we start north of the river up by Palmetto and Ellenton. Some congestion there on 301 southbound as you head back toward Bradenton. Also a slowdown on 70 in the eastbound lane as you approach the interstate. Checking farther south, now here's the northern half of Sarasota County. You see plenty of buildup on 301 around University in both directions. Also 41 at Bay Vista. Must be a slow, sluggish traffic light there. And then checking farther south, here is the scene in the southern half of Sarasota County. Nothing in the red right now at 6:31.
Our top story this morning, some new developments in the death of that 2-year-old in Pinellas County. Now this morning, his mother is sitting behind bars after having confessed to kill him. But was there a chance that his life could have been very different?
Well, some foster parents think so. Marla Spence is here to explain. Marla?
Well, guys, we're learning the mother of 2-year-old Jordan Bellevue only had him in her custody for about 3 months before he died. His foster parents now coming forward saying they wanted to adopt him as their own. Now, they say they fostered him when he was only 5 months old. They say Jordan even learned how to roll over and crawl in their home. But in May, he was reunited with his birth mom, 21-year-old Cherie Stinson, who admitted to causing her son's death. The Pinellas County Child Protection Investigation Division released documents yesterday detailing reports since October 2016 against Stinson and Jordan's father. Caseworkers say the house was never clean, there was never any food, drugs were used in the home, and there was violent behavior between both Stinson and Jordan's father. Yesterday, Stinson appeared in court after admitting to hitting the boy in the face with the back of her hand, causing his head to hit a wall inside her apartment. After the blow, Stinson said Jordan suffered from seizures, leading to his death. Stinson says she carried Jordan's body out to a wooded area where he was later found. Largo police say Stinson's original story about a man taking the boy after accepting a car ride was all a lie.
During her interview, she would constantly change what she was saying based on the line of questioning. There was no feeling with them that there was any remorse, only her attempting to escape the reality of the story by making things up as she went.
Stinson was in court yesterday when Jordan's foster parents came forward, the judge setting a $500,000 bond for aggravated child abuse and no bond for first-degree murder. Stinson continues to sit in the Pinellas County Jail. Ray and Stephanie.
All right, thank you so much, Marla. Well, new this morning, a warning to parents after a house fire in Charlotte County. Around 9:30 last night, Charlotte County Fire and EMS responded to that house fire in Port Charlotte. 2 adults and the 11-year-old who lived there all made it out safely. However, the family's 5 cats were not so fortunate. 2 died, 1 survived, and 1 right now is at the animal hospital. Now, that fire was started when the 11-year-old was playing with a candle in her closet.
Oh, boy.
Now, she knocked the candle over and then tried to cover the flames with a towel before running and telling her parents. The Red Cross is helping out the family this morning, but a good warning.
Federal Judge Brett Kavanaugh will be back on the hot seat again this morning on Capitol Hill. As reporter John Lawrence shows us, President Trump's pick for the Supreme Court spent 12 hours answering senators' questions yesterday.
Contentious and intense. 2 words that can be used to describe the confirmation hearing for Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
The American people have no faith in you, sir!
Kavanaugh spent much of Wednesday being grilled by Democratic senators. Among the issues, a woman's right to choose.
As a judge, it is an important precedent of the Supreme Court. By it, I mean Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey. Been reaffirmed many times.
The assault weapons ban.
Handguns are used in lots of crimes that result in death, and so are semi-automatic rifles. That's what makes this issue difficult.
But when asked whether he'd be able to rule against the man who nominated him about the Robert Mueller investigation into the 2016 election,
no one is above the law in our constitutional system.
Kavanaugh wouldn't comment on whether President Trump has the ability to pardon himself.
It's a hypothetical question that I can't begin to answer in this context as a sitting judge.
Republicans appear to have enough votes to confirm Kavanaugh.
Great intellect, great talent, a great judge.
But Democrats will fight the president's pick.
He must not be confirmed.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The hearing resumes at 9:30 a.m. on Capitol Hill.
New this morning, just who is the anonymous author of a piece slamming President Trump in the New York Times? Well, that is the question that has Washington, D.C. talking today after the Times published this anonymous letter from a senior administration official who wrote, quote, "I work for the president, but like-minded colleagues and I have vowed to thwart parts of his agenda and some of his worst inclinations." Now, that piece went on to describe the president as, quote, impulsive and ill-informed and one that makes reckless decisions. President Trump did respond with several tweets calling the piece an act of treason and the author behind it gutless.
Some anonymous source within the administration, probably who's failing and probably here for all the wrong reasons. No. And the New York Times is failing. If I weren't here, I believe the New York Times probably wouldn't even exist.
And the New York Times is standing by the op-ed piece this morning, saying that we are incredibly proud to have published this piece.
For the latest on this story and breaking news and your first alert forecast, check out our app, My Suncoast or WWSB.
Well, a new study shows that more and more bottlenose dolphins in Sarasota Bay have been exposed to chemicals. 70% of the dolphins tested have been exposed to these man-made chemicals, usually found in things like cleaning products, pesticides, even cosmetics. Now, several researchers from the College of Charleston and other organizations helped take urine samples from 17 dolphins over the last 2 years.
We want to know how they're getting exposed or where they're getting exposed, and we're also interested in trying to understand if exposure to these chemicals impact their health.
There's over 100,000 chemicals that people have put into the waters. We need to be concerned about the potential. We need to monitor it closely. We need to continue the studies over time and recognize that there may be places where the concentrations of these chemicals are even higher than Sarasota Bay, where they could potentially be of even greater concern.
Now, experts from the Sarasota Dolphin Research Program say there's about 170 bottlenose dolphins in Sarasota Bay. They tell us they're expecting more studies to be done on this in the next few years, which should provide some better answers.
New developments from Moat Marine on one of the 3 pygmy killer whales that was rescued after being stranded in the Gulf last week. One of the dolphins has died. The whale was rescued last week on Clearwater Beach and passed away yesterday. The cause of the death is unknown at this time, but Moat Marine officials say he was the sickest of the 3 in their care. One other pygmy killer whale rescued last week on Clearwater Beach and another from Longboat Key are still in critical condition.
Well, while red tide conditions are improving along our beaches, businesses are still struggling. Now, sales in some places have dropped so much that business owners in Venice are actually asking their landlords for some help with the rent. Now, Sharky's on the pier says that sales dropped close to 70% this summer. Now, in the restaurant's lease with the city, there is actually a clause allowing them to negotiate a lower rent if there's a toxic algae outbreak that lasts longer than 30 days.
The rent reduction part of the lease has actually been in the lease since 1987. So the fact that we've never really had to use that clause for the 31 years we've been around is pretty remarkable, but it just also goes to show you how bad it has been this year.
Now, out of the 45 businesses that ABC7 spoke to, Sharky's and Finn's were the only ones with this kind of clause in their contract.
Meantime, new help is on the way for businesses impacted by red tide on Anna Maria Island. Manatee County will open a temporary outreach center at the Island Branch Library on Marina Drive. Representatives from the U.S. Small Business Administration will be on hand. Now, those affected by red tide can receive low-interest loans and other support. The hours are listed there on your screen. For additional information, go to our website at mysuncoast.com.
Well, we've received several reports from viewers saying that they have actually seen a significant difference in beach quality after Tropical Storm Gordon. Now, some say that they are no longer coughing or having those issues because of the red tide. A public works crew on Longboat Key also said the same thing. They were cleaning out the canals on the center of the key, and they said overall the island appears to be in good condition compared to the last few weeks.
You can see all of our continuing red tide coverage in one place on our website, mysuncoast.com/redtide.
Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast.
Disney workers voting today on new contracts that could affect how much they get paid. We'll have a preview for you. 6:40 right now on this Thursday morning. Nice shot of the downtown skyline.
It is. There's downtown Sarasota. We've got a few words that you might hear today. Rain, maybe some afternoon storms, also a little bit of sun. Right, John Scalzi?
Absolutely right. A little bit more sunshine. So there'll be some people going to the beach today. And the red tide report from Boat Marine indicates two places that don't even have any indication of red tide irritants in the air. Other places are in the low category, much improved over the last few weeks. Winds will start shifting a little bit more to the west as we head into the afternoon and catch a bit of a sea breeze. Beach forecast calls for a daytime high at the beaches of about 88 degrees. With some afternoon storms around late in the afternoon and early into the evening, we'll have generally an east wind that turns to the west with a sea breeze with a UV index of 10. Complete forecast in a minute.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just gotta
trying as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Temperature about where we'd expect it to be at 76 degrees. Same thing with the dew point. That gives us 100% relative humidity, and the east wind continues to blow. The east wind generally means that we don't get a whole lot of action here during the morning hours. Things are pretty quiet weather-wise, and that's where I'll put us through the 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock hours. By noon, though, we'll start to think about increasing the rain chances from 12 to about 3. We'll look for a 30-40% chance of rainfall building in inland areas, and then increasing that after 3 o'clock to about 60% as those showers get closer to the coastline and we start to get a better chance of some rainfall around here. That'll linger through about the 7 o'clock hour, similar to yesterday. In fact, the pattern really doesn't change all that much. Temperatures will be about the same as they were yesterday, and the pattern the same as well, with the east wind bringing those showers in across the coastline until they get here and start to collide with our sea breeze front, when they'll begin to build quite a bit. The Myakka warning for the river has been discontinued by the Weather Service, and hydrology continues to watch, of course, the Peace River near Arcadia as one location, but that'll be coming down tomorrow as well, most likely. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us just to the north, brings the east wind. That's the driving mechanism for returning moisture to our area and to giving us colliding winds near the coastline with the sea breeze that produces the showers as they drift across the coast. They get to our coastline, they explode into larger storms. Now, this all changes as we head into tomorrow, into a Saturday. We'll start to watch the winds change from an east wind to a more west wind. And what does that mean? Well, as you might intuitively imagine, it means that the showers that build strong along our coastline in the afternoon build strong along the coastline on the other coast in the afternoon, leaving our coastline pretty quiet during the later part of the day. For today, good chances of afternoon storms. We'll watch where Florence goes next week. That's kind of important because there are some big questions in the forecast track and reasons to think that that storm, which could be a major hurricane at that time, will drift closer to the United States and perhaps threaten part of our coastline. And then that southwest wind returns to the state of Florida over the course of the weekend, bringing us, again, chances for showers in the late morning, early afternoon, and then clearing out in the evening. So 2 systems we continue to watch. Florence, of course, we talked about during the last half hour. And this system as well, which has a 90% of chance for development with time. It's one of several waves that will be coming off the coast of Africa, and these systems will continue to drift westward across the Atlantic and will give us, I think, some interest next week as to exactly what they will be doing and whether they will build. Again, this is a forecast that's 7-10 days down the road, so there's a lot of error possible here. This particular forecast, the American forecast, shows perhaps Florence maybe recurving back out into the open waters of the Atlantic. Other forecasts take it right into the center of the mid-Atlantic coastline. So we'll watch it. We'll let you know any updates. But again, that tropical wave could be of more interest to the state of Florida than Florence is, as that may affect areas higher in latitude. So we'll continue to watch it. Hurricane season becoming very active as we enter the height of hurricane season. 10-knot winds today. Over the course of the next several days, we'll look for highs of about 92 with a 60% chance of showers. And then as we head into the weekend, that wind reversal reduces our rain chance just a little bit, and that carries us on into the beginning of next week. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check out that first alert traffic. We are still watching a lot of slowdowns right in that area of 301 and State Road 70, as well as the bridges now coming into Bradenton, a little bit slower as they normally are. And then headed into Sarasota County, the top half of the county is still running pretty decent at this hour. A couple slowdowns on Bee Ridge, but not too bad like it was earlier. And a little bit farther south in the area, 75 and 41, both running pretty smooth at this hour. Typical slowdowns as you go through Venice, but other than that, not too bad out there this morning. 6:48, that's your first alert traffic.
Happening today, thousands of Disney World workers are voting on a new contract that would increase their starting salary to $15 an hour. It would also allow Disney to use more part-time workers, though, and require new workers to stay in their positions longer before transferring. The vote comes after months of protests, negotiations, and the rejection of a previous contract offer. Now, this involves about half of Disney World's 70,000 workers. A coalition of 6 unions is recommending that workers vote yes.
Well, the University of South Florida is being rebranded. Now, after 18 years as the president of USF, Judy Genschaft agrees that the university kind of needed a new look. So her staff got to work, and they have introduced a couple new things. First, the new motto: we share one goal, we transform lives. United, we shape the future. They've got a new rallying cry: be bullish, Ray. And then they've got a new logo. It's a lime green bull that's kind of like the golden Brahmin that first symbolized the university way back when it opened in 1960s. Well, Starbucks has locations all over the world: China, Australia, Hong Kong. But for a coffee company that serves Frappuccino and espresso, did you know they've never had a location in Italy? Well, that is all changing because the Frappuccino is headed to the home of cappuccino. Yeah, Starbucks is opening their first ever store in Italy, Milan to be exact. It officially opens today.
I didn't know they weren't there already.
I didn't either. But the owner of Starbucks went to a coffee shop in Milan and was transformed. He said they kind of have coffee shops in the way that we sort of have bars, where there's a bartender and he knows your local flavor. Yeah.
6:50, your day's top 7 news headlines before 7 a.m. Straight ahead.
That's right. That includes one last look at your forecast and the World Belly Flop Championships, a video you do not want to miss.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
What do you get when you cross your tired, aching back with this fragile egg? The Egg Sitter Cushion, an amazing new flex cushion that supports your backside and spine so well you can sit on an egg without breaking it. Incredible!
You want me to sit on this egg? Okay. Can't believe I'm doing this. I don't even feel it. It didn't even break? Oh, I was wondering about that. Now that's a good cushion.
The honeycomb design is constructed of Elasticor that absorbs pressure points by collapsing in on itself. That's why even this egg won't break under direct pressure. Now long days at the office will be more comfortable, dinner more enjoyable, and painful car rides a thing of the past. Get your Egg Sitter Support Cushion for just $39.99. It comes with a free non-slip washable cover and our 10-year comfort guarantee. But wait, call right now and you can get a second cushion. Just pay separate fee. Call now.
Call 1-800-232-1564. That's 1-800-232-1564. Call now or go to eggsitter.com. Order now.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Thank you.
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on MySuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at MySuncoast.com/dining. Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now.
Coming up on Good Morning America, the couple who raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to help a homeless man they befriended. But did they take all of that money? We'll have a story for you next hour on GMA. It is 6:53, and here's your top 7 before 7.
First off, John Scalzi's first alert weather forecast.
So today we'll say first things to take with you as you head out the door will be some rain gear for later on, maybe an umbrella, and your first alert weather app to trace the storms that come out later in the day. Before the start of the day, no problems, rain-free, sunny start. We'll look for a daytime high that tops out in the low 90s with 76 as you walk out the door. Afternoon storms build and then gradually drift toward the coastline. We'll look for updates available consistently throughout the day at mysuncoast.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our First Alert Weather app. Back to you.
Number 2, first alert traffic. Nothing major to report right now on Suncoast roads. Just the usual minor delays, but take it slowly as you head out the door this morning.
And number 3, some new developments in the death of that 2-year-old in Pinellas County. His former foster parents say they wanted to adopt him when he was just 5 months old, but he was returned to his mother, who confessed to killing him.
Number 4, Moat Marine says one of the 3 pygmy killer whales stranded in the Gulf has now died. This morning, 2 others remain in critical condition, receiving round-the-clock care at Moat.
Number 5, Drug-Free Manatee is kicking off a new media campaign next month to encourage people struggling with drug addiction to seek treatment.
Number 6, a candle, the cause of a house fire in Charlotte County. 2 adults and 11-year-old made it out safely. 2 cats, not so lucky. This morning, the Red Cross is assisting that family.
And number 7, what is trending? The video I've been waiting all day to see. Who doesn't love a good belly flop? Well, Norway sure does, since they hold the World Belly Flopping Championships. Okay, so technically it's called dancing.
Really?
It's a Norwegian sport that involves jumping from a height, and then you hold this pose, like this stretch shape, as long as possible right before you hit the water. Now, it looks like belly flopping, sounds like belly flopping, and if I had to guess, it probably hurts. Like belly flopping too, but I could watch this stuff all day. Look at this. This is actually a sport.
Yeah.
I could be in the Olympics if I lived in Norway.
Wait, that
I
is
could
not
do
belly
that.
flopping off the side of a pool.
Okay,
that
that's
is a high
celebrating the
dive
good
belly
ball.
flopping.
That's celebrating.
Wow,
Yeah.
and the crowd, that was a big crowd.
I know, that's impressive, right?
It was.
It's a good belly flop.
They came from near and far.
Yeah.
They came from, not just Norway, but it looked like,
I know.
probably might have had some folks from who knows where.
Maybe they'll have someone from Sarasota next year.
I used to love diving
Make our
till
own
one time I tried doing a jackknife and I came back down awfully close to the board and didn't try diving again.
Ooh, who was it that did that back in the day? Greg Louganis.
Yes.
Greg Louganis.
I can still picture that.
Ooh, that was a bad one.
He
All right.
never looked at that video in his career.
No. All right. Good Morning America is straight ahead.